Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome in. Yes, popping here first. Yay. How is everyone doing today? I'm in a bit of a grumpy mood this evening, but otherwise I'm doing good. Yeah, my mom kind of pissed me off today and this evening, and it was just like, eh. I in turn pissed her off in return, but oh, wait, where did that go? Uh-oh, where? Oh, there it went. Okay. Is it really cool though? Yes, yes. My face is always cool. Okay, there. I lost the group, all one chat for a moment. It's like, where did it go? Oh, it went and zoomed into OBS. I was like, I don't want it there. I can't see it there. Not easily, anyways. But yeah, you did good. You did good. We'll miss the sloshing, but you did good. I found with your voice meter that anytime I open something new, oh, weird. Yeah, if I can make a GIF of Sloshy, that'd be cool. Yeah, like, I mean, that's kind of why I thought just having like the mouth open, eyes closed would be a good, like, it doesn't need to be all the time. So I'm not that sloppy with my wine. But this is every once in a while, and it seems like when I'm talking and with eyes closed, I end up being like, talking with hands, slosh. But yeah, like it's, but like a 2-frame GIF is all you need too. Yeah, so the viewer just needs to be like, needs to like, did I see that? No? Yes? Watch more intently next time. Yeah, I get it. Oh no, network erasers. That's not good. That's not good. Might be okay now? Yay. Good. I'm not dropping any frames, so that's... Oh, it's... Not on me. I think last stream I was dropping some frames. Which is annoying. I really do need to stream more. In my grumpiness, I had maybe I should stop the reading streams. I'm like, no, but the reading streams are... I enjoy them. Even though lately Mondays have been kind of like... I've been just very blah. It's mostly because I've been so busy on weekends. It's like, I need a break. But I have to work. And I forget that these are enjoyable. Maybe still up? Oh no. Oh yeah, you weren't just sitting silently for 5 minutes. No, like... My starting screen, yes, but not just now, no. Yeah. There won't be a stream on Monday next week because it is Christmas Day. And I don't know how much streaming I'm gonna get done the next week because my bro is visiting. I'm not looking forward to it. But I bought 2 Kia Calyx no, 3 Calyx shelves. I also need to put together. The original idea was to use them as like a bed frame, but I ended up finding a bed frame on Amazon. I gotta visit my siblings on Christmas Eve, overnight to Christmas Day. Yeah. I'm just hoping they just shove like a lot of visiting families that we don't need to talk at all. It's like, let his attention be on everyone else. Basically, plan to not be alone with him. That is my plan. But hey, it happens only once every 10 years, so. That's one thing. Okay. My intro today is just that. Otherwise we won't get any reading done at all, I think. Wait, why is it not picking up? Yeah, I need to hide this book. Matt. Oh. Okay, one sec. Okay. That. Okay, and I need to figure out why it's not picking up the book. What? Wait. One sec. The window capture. Okay. I lost the window capture for the Kindle. Okay. I don't know how that happened. Womp. 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 One sec, let me... Sure. No, that doesn't work well. Okay, maybe? One sec. Okay, maybe? There we go. Good enough. Okay. Try and book. There's a layer I didn't give you that smut for slimes on the title of the book. Did you give all the layer? I'm assuming you did. I just didn't see it when I was loading because it was only showing what I could load into the program. Cause you know me. Matt? No, that. E. Okay. I didn't say that one, or I didn't say that as a PPNG. Yeah. Yeah. There's no smut for slimes here. Sad. One would enjoy the smut for slimes. Giggity. Oh, my cats are meowing at the door. I just didn't have the patience for those. I closed them out of the computer room today. It was just for you? Why is it just for you? I wonder actually if I could do image. What is that? Nope, that's not what I want to add. Never mind. Ignore that. I'm just trying to find. Something. One sec. I'm gonna quickly change to here. So that should be able to do image. Yeah. In sorry, I have ideas. There we go. Another sheets and then full body. Yeah. I'm gonna get secret things in art that no one else gets to see. then why do you tell it to me? It's definitely floating, but okay. now it doesn't look like I'm floating. I could sit in a big comfy chair if I want to. And if you might recognize the chair too. When you're playing Sims, you'll likely recognize the chair. If anything, I should make the full body ones and the furniture separate objects. Probably just so you could adds some subtle variations that don't necessarily need to change on expressions. Is it from Sims? It is from Sims. Someone just told me as a random, like, if you're looking for assets just for chairs and that, is like, just use Sim furniture. You could get the file and use that. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? It's perfect. Actually, it fits the expression of floating Skyr perfectly too. Okay. Wait. Hey. Look, is pretty. What? You know, you could have gotten away with without having two states and having, like, when I'm talking with the book having the looking down at book when I'm talking on the open mouth, and then I'll fix that too later. Maybe I'll fix it now. Me. Like, you could do this. Like, wait, I could do it if I want to. I'm supposed to be reading state. I see. Maybe. Okay. That might work better. Okay. Okay, so what happened last time, because it's been a couple of weeks. I didn't realize we were still only on chapter 3 too. I was like, we're near the end, right? Like, no, we're still chapter 3. Okay. Anyhow. Alana's going on a quest to long chapters. They are long. Alana's not going on a quest for the Dominion Jewel to bring home to John. She has dragged along a Shang warrior with her. She refuses to take boats, so they're going through a war-torn land. And oh yeah, in the last chapter, someone got the drop on Alana. So, Chapter 3. The Warlord's Daughter. Wait. One sec. Me. Okay. There we go. That's better. Me. Alana didn't have to repeat it. Liam heard. Rising from his couch, he let his weapon fall. Alana put lightning down. To have Liam caught because of a girl child had the drop on her was humiliating. She was supposed to be able to take care of herself. Amazing, Alana's captor said. We go hunting for game, and we find you instead. Alana heard Karam swear in the distance. Karam, are you alright? She yelled. Some lass is aiming a crossbow at me, was the response. Only my dignity hurts so far. Alana's guard called, Ayat? I'm alright, Buri. The voice was female, deep and clear. Black eyes locked on Alana. Start walking, Buri ordered. I won't leave my sword in the dirt, Alana snapped. The stocky girl stooped to grab lightning, her crossbow sight never moving from Alana's chest. Now go, she commanded, hands in the air. Shame your mother didn't drown you at birth, Alana muttered, obeying. What makes you think she didn't? Awaiting them were refugees. Their belongings overburdened a donkey. The group itself was small. 2 teenage girls, 2 boys aged 10 or so, and a girl nearly same age. One of the teenagers carried a baby. Karam approached, leading their horses. Guarding him was a woman of Alana's age, dressed in a split skirt, boots, a cotton shirt, and a fleece-lined vest. She bore her crossbow like one who knew its use. She was also the most beautiful female Alana had ever seen. Her face, particularly her nose, was strong-boned. Her hazel eyes were deep-set under even brows. Her chin was determined. Her mouth was naturally red, accented by ivory skin. She wore her jet black hair pulled into a knot. Alana sighed. Cute was the best description she could hope for. Liam bowed to the young woman. Your Royal Highness. Have we met, sir? Hers was the voice that had answered Buri. No, Highness. Despite his pleasant accent, the dragon was as gallant as a noble. But I'd have to be blind not to recognize a daughter of the Rilima house. Jian Rilima smiled. Sadly, I do take after my father, the princess admitted. She fingered the curve of her nose. Alana stared at Thayet. The princess had once been considered as a wife for John, but the queen had said no. There was bad blood in the Willima line, but seeing her, Alana thought it was too bad John couldn't marry this one. She didn't look as if she'd let him stand on his dignity for long. The idea made her grin. Buri poked her with her bow. Her Highness isn't someone to laugh at. Don't, Buri. Thayet said, these people aren't enemies. We don't know they're friends. Liam glanced at Alana's guard. Believe me, Khmer, if I wanted to turn the tables on you, I would. He fainted to the side and lunged forward. Before Alana could see what he'd done, Buri sat in the dirt, her crossbow in Liam's hands. He offered it back to her as she rose. Buri took it, her eyes filled with respect. She put the arrow in her quiver and holstered the bow with a nod. Her reaction made Alana like her. From what she knew of the Khmer tribes to Sarain's north, Buri probably was reared as a warrior. She took being disarmed well. Oh, I guess I have to update that Twitter link. It's no longer Twitter, it's X. Not that I've really been using any social media lately. Ooh, okay. Liam performed the introductions. When he gave Alana's titles, Buri whispered, "A full knight is a woman? A noble woman?" Karam bristled. "She has the bluest blood in Tortal," he growled. "There never was a Zir or Jin anything fit to polish a Chabon's boots." "Karam," Alana sighed. "The family's in the Book of Gold," added Karam. "No Zir or even Zirit were rich down till the Book of Silver." "I think it's wonderful," Thaya interrupted. "It's time we nobles showed we aren't delicate flowers, instead of leaving the glory to our Shang and Khmer sisters." Changing the subject diplomatically, she asked, "Where are you three bound?" Ram told them about their journey, but not its object. As Alana appraised Thayet's group, they were tired. The children's faces were gray with exhaustion. How long had they been traveling, and how much longer could they go? Ram arrived at the same conclusion. "If you'll forgive my saying it, Your Highness, ye need help. Where are ye and the young uns bound?" "The Mother of Waters in Rachia," Buri replied. "All of us but Thayet and the baby and me were students in the convent Mother of Mountains. The baby, Thayet, found. Soldiers killed his family," volunteered the girl who carried the infant. "Everyone but him. Poor little man." Alana did some calculations. "Rachia's 4 days ride south," she said. "Except you're afoot. Those of you who can walk." "We had no choice," Thayet said. "Zir Anduo's army was coming." "Doesn't the warlord have men to protect you?" Liam asked. "They ran." Buri was plainly contemptuous. Thayet protested. "Buri, that's not fair. They were afraid," she told Liam. "They had no way of knowing if their families were safe." Buri shrugged. "In plain talk, it still means they ran." Thayet glared at her companion. Smoothing his mustache, Liam said, "Karam's right. You need us. We'll get you to the Mother of Waters." Buri wasn't willing to accept this. "We don't need them," she told Thayet hotly. "We don't even know they're on our side." "Don't be silly, Buri," Thayet replied. "I haven't heard Alana's name. I know about Liam Ironarm. People like this don't prey on people like us." "There's a first time for everything," Khmer muttered. Thayet's response was in Khmer. Buri looked away and Thayet turned to Alana with a smile. "Please understand, Buri's family has served my mother's family for generations. That means I can't tell her to do anything. She'll always say what's on her mind, no matter how much it embarrasses me. And she behaves as she pleases." Alana looked at Karam, who hid a grin. "I understand," Princess Thayet. The knight said dryly, I too suffer from old family servants. If this is settled, I want to set camp. Liam interrupted. The little ones are asleep on their feet. Alana and Burry exchanged looks for a moment. Alana's measuring. Burry is sullen. Finally, Burry nodded. If that's the way it has to be. It is, Thayet snapped. They camped where they were, the men settling the children after they'd been fed. Alana took the first watch, enjoying the quiet. She had a feeling she wouldn't have too much quiet to enjoy for a week or so. Me and Thayet were fine before you came, Burry spoke unexpectedly, and Alana jumped. Hadn't she learned once tonight on the ridge that this chimera had made no noise when she moved? Thayet's chimera taught, and I'm chimera bred. We take care of ourselves. Alana felt a surge of empathy. She understood this girl warrior's pride. For you and Thayet, that might be enough. Though I'm not sure. An entire army's looking for her. But what if something happens to you? The little ones will starve. Burry sat on the ground beside her. I'm supposed to look after Thayet, she explained. I help with the children. I'm not good at it, the way she is. I can't leave them to die. What have they done? So the princess is your chief responsibility. If anything happens to her while you're worrying about the children, you will blame yourself. Burry nodded. You probably think that's foolish. Not at all. Alana felt as if she spoke to herself when she was Prince Jonathan's squire. Karam and Liam and I will help you make sure Thayet's unharmed. Alright? They sat together for a while, saying nothing. At last, the chimera stood and offered Alana her hand. I'm glad you joined us, she said as the knights returned to her trip. I didn't like the idea of taking on any armies by myself. Alana hid a grin. Thayet would have helped, she pointed out. Was the emphatic reply. You think I'd let Kalassen's daughter endanger herself? I'd put her somewhere safe, where she couldn't get into trouble. Yes, Faithful said when Burry returned to her bed. She is very much like you at that age. Surely I didn't think I could beat an army single-handed. You still do. The trouble with arguing with a cat is that cats don't hesitate to say anything about you, no matter how crazy it is, she complained. You can't win an argument that way. Nor should you try. With that, Faithful trotted off for a walk in the forest. The next morning, Liam and Alana did their dawn exercises. I don't care how strange yesterday was, he told Alana when she grumbled. You don't get good unless you practice. The worst of it was that he was right. Were he and Faithful in a plot to make her feel young and ignorant? Liam cooked breakfast as Alana roused their companions. Once they were fed, the company was ready to set out. Burry and Karam erased signs of their camp. Bandits who would ignore 3 people would attack a large party. Liam let the boys and the 10-year-old girl ride his placid drifter. He led the horse, keeping a sharp eye on their surroundings. Thayet walked, the baby in a sling on her chest. Burry stayed with her princess. Karam's anvil bore the teenaged girls. Then came the pack horse, Bother, and the donkey, who kept well away from the bad-tempered Bother, riding at the rear of the column, keeping an eye on their surroundings as Liam did, were Alana, Faithful, and Moonlight. At their noon stop, Alana found the stream and splashed her face with cold water. Burry came to her, bearing an armful of baby. Here, she gave him to Alana, who froze. What if she dropped him? Sighing, Buri fixed the knight's hands in a better holding position before she turned away. Where are you going? Alana demanded. You act like you've never held a baby before. I haven't. Buri stared at Alana as if she couldn't believe her ears. Never? There are babies everywhere. Perhaps so, but their parents didn't ask me to hold them. The infant wriggled, and Alana tried to give him back to Buri. You have to learn sometime. The Khmer turned away. Stay there and don't clutch him. I'm going for a blanket. He'll be fine. I don't think childcare is a necessary part of my education, Alana said to herself. It's not like I plan to stay anywhere long enough to marry and have children. The baby sneezed and wrinkled his face, which made her grin. Gently, she bounced him as she had seen Karam do. To her dismay, the infant started to bawl. She cooed and rocked him to no avail. He worked himself into a tantrum. Buri returned with her blanket. What's wrong? Alana cried. I only joggled him a little. Buri opened the blanket on the ground and put clean diapers on it. Probably wet, she said. Change him. She left again. Alana looked at the child in horror. I'd never. She was saying that too much lately. Surely proven knight was equal to anything. Trying to remember how Thayet had done it earlier, she put the child down and unwrapped him. A stench rose from the diaper. The baby was more than wet. When Alana fumbled the knot open, she saw a damp brown mass was responsible. This can't be worse than mucking out stables, she told herself, fighting her unhappy stomach. I've done that hundreds of times. Karam knelt beside her. Take the diaper he fouled and wipe him with the edges, he explained, his eyes twinkling. When she looked at him pleadingly, Karam shook his head. It's not hard. Lift him by his ankles. He's used to it. That's the idea. Get rid of as much as you can. Put the dirty one aside. He dampened a clean diaper in the stream and gave it to her. Swab the poor mite down. Think how you'd feel in that state. Easy, little lad, he crooned, giving the baby a finger to hold. The infant grinned, showing a bit of ivory. Teeth, is it? Let me see. He ran his finger around the baby's gums. And 2 more coming in. No wonder you're scratchy. Alana stared at Karam as he gave her a fresh, dry diaper. Where in mother's name did you learn all this? Hold it like a triangle. I was the oldest, and 4 more after me. When I governed Rampant, I watched the little ones when their mothers were working the fields. I liked them fine. He shook the finger the baby clutched. The infant crowed and babbled happily. A grip like iron. This one will be a blacksmith. Mark my words. No. If you put it on him so loose, it'll fall off. And that's a fair knot. Karam held the baby in the air and shook him gently, to be answered with a gleeful cackle. Alana felt odd. Karam could have had a family years ago, if he hadn't been working for Trabond. Karam looked at her. Don't start saying maybe you should bring me home to Rispa. We've something to do before we head back. He touched her shoulder. I've been raising you. I have no complaints on my life. Buri showed Alana how to feed the infant from a water skin filled with goat's milk. When that was done, Alana picked up the child as she'd seen Liam do, patting him on the back. Now she had the knack of handling a baby. She was shocked by the infant's burp, unpleasantly surprised when dampness spread over her back. Seeing her face, Burry laughed until she cried. Liam gave Alana a wet cloth, fighting to keep his face straight. Put down a clean rag first, he explained. They spit up when they're burped, and they fuss when they aren't. Alana went to change, red with embarrassment. When she returned, all the children slept on blankets in the shade. Even Burry dozed, one arm over the baby. Liam, Thayet, and Karam waited by the stream, out of earshot. They need rest, Liam told her when she joined them. They won't make it to sundown, otherwise. We're used to the road. They aren't. Thayet tells me they've no supplies, said Karam. Even the food we bought won't last. He tried to forage. The princess cooled her feet in the stream. The farms in these valleys were rich, and there was game, but not anymore. The land's picked clean. We ran out of food last night, and Burry and the older girls have been stinting themselves for days. They can't keep that up. I bet they aren't the only ones who've gone short of food, Alana thought, watching Thayet's too thin face. We have to do something soon. How, if we can't live off the country? We have to find humans then, Karam was matter of fact. The land's picked over. Let's find the pickers and clean them out. Alana gave Moonlight reins to Thayet for the afternoon. Sliding a quiver over her shoulder, she took her longbow and ranged up and down the road, watching for game. She begged 2 squirrels, which told her more than Thayet's words, how bad off Serain was. At this time of year, game should have tumbled into her lap. Burry came to join her, with no better luck. After an hour's hunting, Alana asked something that had been on her mind. Why is Thayet roaming the mountains? Why isn't she with her father? It's because of Kalasin, Burry said after a moment's consideration. Her mother? Burry nodded. The most beautiful woman in the world. She was amazing. Her black eyes were sad. Kalasin asked the warlord to deal fairly with Khmer, because we're her people. Lowlanders take us for slaves. They steal our horses. The dark girl stomped until her anger was under control. Jin Vilima hates us. He's a lowlander completely. So he signed laws forbidding us to meet in groups of more than 5 people at a time. There's more than 30 in the How Much clan, and they're our smallest. How can we honor the dead, or a marriage, or a birth? The clan is forbidden to meet. Go on, urged the knight when Burry stopped. I'm sorry. What Klassen did was a great thing, but it hurts to remember. She and Thayet tried to make the warlord stop. They even pleaded. Khmer never begs, but he signed the law. Klassen knew what she had to do then. She sent Thayet to the convent, far away. My mother, my brother, served Klassen, kept the guards from breaking into her tower room. Klassen stood at her window and sang her death chant, but her shame at Jin Vilima's laws. The crowd was there to witness. Nobles, common-born, and slaves. My mother and brother were killed, but they held the door until it was too late for the warlord's men to stop her from jumping. Mother and Pathom are buried at Klassen's right and left hands. The warlord will lie in his tomb, alone. I'm sorry, Alana said quietly. Buri shook her head. They had the best deaths any Khmer could have. My people did what was right, and so did Kalasin. But they're gone, Alana pointed out, disturbed. Being dead doesn't help anybody. It depends on the kind of death. Liam had drawn even with them. If your death's wasted, that's one thing. By her example, Kalasin woke up a lot of folk who thought it was alright to abuse the Khmer. Buri's mother and her brother made it possible for Kalasin to tell why she killed herself. Dead is dead, Alana snapped. Can't do anything from a grave, Liam. The dragon and Khmer exchanged looks that clearly said Alana didn't know what she was talking about. Disturbed by their agreement, knowing she would rather change things while she was alive, Alana moved ahead. When Karam found signs that bandits had been in the area recently, Liam decreed it was time to stop for the night. Faithful found abandoned caves above the stream, where Thiat briskly set up camp. The children gathered firewood as Buri and Karam went fishing. Liam cooked. Once again, Alana got baby duty, diapering, feeding, and burping. This time with no mishaps. Taking her bowl of thin stew outside, Alana took a seat on a large rock. Homesickness had caught up with her that afternoon. She wanted to see familiar faces and scenes. She missed George, in spite of sharing a bedroll with Liam. Perhaps because of that. Since the night before, Liam had been careful and deadly serious, concentrating on keeping their company safe until they arrived in Ratchia. She respected him, but felt shut out all the same. She missed George and his sense of humor. If he were here, she thought, he'd be in the middle of things, burping babies, hauling the boys off to wash, stealing Serene blind for our supper. She blinked away at unexpected tears. On the road, she had no George to make her laugh, no John to say, of course you can do it, no Miles to explain this history of Serene. She hoped the Dominion Jewel would be worth the trip. Faithful, who'd vanished when they found the caves, patted her foot. His coat was thick with dust and burrs. Bandits, he panted. A large camp of them, east of here. Aw. I wanted George too, Foppin. we all deserve Georges. Thiat, who protested staying with the children. The two men, Alana and Buri, formed the attack party, moving quietly through the woods, led by Faithful. They marched for half an hour before they came to a canyon. Down there, Faithful told Alana, 50 of them, and their women. The four crept to the canyon's lip, where they could see the camp below. Alana beckoned the others to draw back while they talked. Faithful says there's about 50 people down there, she whispered. We can't take on those odds. I'm not a good enough thief to get in there and take what we need, Liam told her. Buri and Karam nodded their agreement. I'll have to use magic. Alana met Liam's eyes. She couldn't tell their color in the dark, but when she put her hand on his arm, she found he was rigid with tension. I'm sorry, I know you don't like it. Can you think of something better? Magic's dishonorable, Buri muttered. It's cheating. Alana and Karam exchanged looks. Do you prefer 10 to 1 odds? Karam asked. I don't. We've got some brave younglings and your princess who depend on us to come back. I don't like this, said the Khmer. It's too confusing. I suppose you have a point. I can't exactly challenge all of them to single combat. What do you have in mind? Karam asked his night mistress. Thinking, Alana said, I don't know, a net, maybe? To tie them down while you take what we need? Karam frowned, troubled. He knew she'd never done anything so big and real. He said nothing, for which she was grateful. Do your magic then. Liam's voice was harsh. If you feel like it when you're done, maybe you can lend a hand with the real work. He returned to the canyon's edge. That isn't fair, Rory protested softly. The dragon was out of earshot. What he said isn't fair, she told Karam and Alana. That's alright, I understand, Alana told her. You two had better get close to the camp. Don't worry about what I'm doing. It won't affect you. She watched them slip over the canyon's edge. You used to feel like Liam, Faithful commented as he and Alana went to the edge of the canyon. Magic and fighting don't mix, and a fighter who uses magic is cheating. I'm older now, whispered Alana. She heard Liam's feral battle cry and the sounds of fighting. A sentry had seen the dragon. Alana had no more time to think. Reaching for the first image in her mind, Alana saw the Dominion jewel. Even a vision of it was a catalyst. Alana's gift rushed into and through it, swirling out over the bandit camp as a shimmering violet net. She maneuvered it into place, making sure each tent and bedroll was covered. It was hard to concentrate as elation filled her. Did Tom feel this powerful when he performed one of his great magics? No wonder he'd given up a normal life to become a sorcerer. The net solidified. Karam, Burry, and Liam were unable to see it. They could only sense it. Alana extended her magic until she could see what was happening below. Burry and Liam looted the bandits' supply tents to fill packs with food and goods. Karam met them, leading 4 horses. The others he'd turned loose, making it impossible for the bandits to follow them. Now Alana strained, trying to free herself from the spell while leaving it in place. She could even banish the jewel's image. It burned in her mind like a beacon, keeping her inner eyes riveted to it. Already she felt a peculiar sinking that meant she had gone too far. Cut it loose! Faithful yowled in her ear. Cut it loose! You'll pour your life into it. She couldn't hear him through the focus of the jewel image demanded. Pain broke Alana's concentration as Faithful wrapped himself around her arm, his claws and teeth ripping into her skin. Now she could free herself of the jewel's hold. Peeling the cat off, she lurched to her feet. The net itself would hold another half hour or so. Time for them to get away. Thanks, she told Faithful in a gasp. When the others came for her with one of the spare horses, they saw she was unable to ride. Graham looked at Liam. The dragon's expression made it clear he would rather not be near Alana just then. Karam pulled her up behind him onto the saddle. Alana took 2 days to recover, sleeping to restore her strength. By the time she was on her feet, Liam had gotten over his anger with her enough to give a dawn lesson. That same day, the small company took to the road once again. The teenagers, each riding a horse, with a smaller child behind. Karam had the third 10-year-old, and Thayat rode with a baby in a sling on her chest. Burry rode the shaggy pony Karam had taken from the bandits. Using the less traveled paths, they moved quickly through the desolate highlands. They passed burned out farms and cabins, all abandoned, their owners dead or run away. Almost every building had its own ugly reminder of the war in the shape of unburied bodies or skeletons. They saw and heard no evidence of human life, although the warriors all sensed watching eyes. Whoever spied on them stayed within the shelter of the trees, too frightened or too wary to approach. These sights gave Alana nightmares, dreams in which the bodies were Tartalan and the burned out homes belonged to her friends. Liam soon found a way to deal with dreams. He gave an extra lesson in hand-to-hand combat after they stopped for the night. Between the new lessons, the regular ones at daybreak, and her turn on watch, Alana soon was far too tired to dream. Rachia was a bustling trade city, her streets packed with things to see. Even the many soldiers present couldn't put a damper on people's spirits. The children wriggled in their saddles, trying to look at everything. Buri stuck to Thiat, scowling at anyone who came too near. Alana found it difficult to breathe and was dismayed to think she was more used to the desert and woodlands than to crowded cities. How would she feel when she returned to Chorus? They had crossed the marketplace when some instinct warned her. She looked up to see an archer on a nearby rooftop. Alana yelled, "Not yet!" Liam was afoot, leading his drifter. Hearing Alana, he dragged Thiat and the baby from their saddle as an arrow sliced past their heads. A second arrow followed. Liam grabbed it from the air. Buri dismounted, dark with rage, and ran into the building where the archer stood. Dismounting, Alana saw that the building was supported a sturdy flower trellis reaching from the ground to the roof. She tested it and started to climb, trying not to think about rotten food or loose anchorings. "Karam! Get them to the convent!" she yelled as twigs showered into her face. She didn't look, but she heard Liam and Karam bellow orders. She vaulted over the roof's edge, keeping low. The assassin, swathed in a headcloth and scarf, shot at her, then leapt to the next building. Alana dodged, unsheathed her sword, and pursued. Behind her, she heard the rooftop door crash open, and another pair of running feet. Wary, she glanced back to find Buri catching up. The Chimera was a faster runner than Alana. She drew even within seconds, with her dagger in hand. "Don't kill him," Alana panted. "We need to know who pays him." Buri nodded. They raced from roof to roof, Buri and Alana closing the gap. The assassin's breath came harder. His steps faltered. The next roof was a story lower than the ones they ran on. The assassin jumped and landed awkwardly. Rising, he stumbled on. Buri jumped and fell, her left leg twisting under her, but she ran on, sweat pouring down her face. Alana jumped and rolled, as Liam and her wrestling teachers had instructed her. She got to her feet without any hurt. Buri shook her head when Alana hesitated. "Don't wait for me," she hissed. "Get him!" Alana raced on. Finally, the quarry was forced to halt. He'd run out of roofs. Alana stopped, afraid to scare him. "Talk to me," she called. "I just want to know why." He jumped. When Alana came to the roof's edge, he lay in an alley below, sprawled and broken. Cursing, she returned for Buri, ignoring the stares of the building's inhabitants. She and the hobbling Chimera went down to the streets and into the alley. No one else had noticed the assassin's fall. Alana was relieved to note. She didn't want a street urchin or his older counterpart stealing the dead man's belongings before she and Buri got the chance to examine them. Buri knelt beside the body. turning out his empty pockets. He could be anybody. She kept her voice low as she lifted his assassin's headcloth. The face, sickeningly misshapen after the fall, was male and coarse, the cheeks filled with a drunkard's broken veins. Tavern scum, she said flatly. You can buy a killer like this for 1 gold piece. He probably drank his money already. She covered the dead man once more. Someone wants Thiet dead. Alana nodded. She has enemies. Her father has enemies, Barry snapped, standing shakily. Doesn't matter whose enemies they are. They want Thiet. You can discuss this at the convent, Faithful told them at the alley's mouth. You're needed there too. Now. When she and Burry entered the convent's visitors' courts, Alana smelled trouble. Their company should have been placed in the temple guest house immediately. That was the daughter's policy everywhere in the eastern lands. Yet the party was here, outside convent proper, watched by a daughter door warden. No other priestesses. A temple the size housed at least 200 were to be seen. Thiet was puzzled. The children were nervous. What's going on? Alana asked Liam quietly. I don't know. His eyes were blue-gray, revealing nothing. Some daughters came out, gabbled like geese, and vanished. The door warden says we wait. I want Thiet out of sight. Burry scowled. Is this the honor given to a princess? I should teach these lowland hens some manners. Save your anger for Thiet's enemies, Liam advised. He'll serve her best if you're careful. Hens, Burry muttered rebelliously. Like Burry and the dragon, Alana wanted Thiet in a safe place. Not this open courtyard. She went to the door warden. Please bear a message to the first daughter of this house. The daughter nodded. Coldly, the knight said, I am Sir Alana of Shaban and Alau, knight of the realm of Turtal, shaman and rider of the Bloody Hawks tribe of the Bazir. Why are we kept outside the curtain wall? Why have we no explanation for this lack of courtesy? The children are tired and hungry. We are tired and hungry. And dirty. And Princess Thiet is being shot at. The daughters of the Mother of Waters owe a duty to travelers as servants of she who rules us all. Why have you not performed that duty? I will be forced to report such a lapse to the goddess on earth, in the city of the gods. Her violet eyes dangerous, Alana nodded. Please deliver my message. The daughter bowed and hurried away. In minutes, they were shown to a guest house well inside the thick convent wall. Servants came to look after the young members of the group as the door warden took the adults and Burry to a meeting with the leader of the Mother of Waters. Passing through a long courtyard, they entered a room where 2 daughters sat at a long table. One was dressed in the black habit of the Hag, the goddess as queen of the underworld. The other wore the cloth of gold habit that marked her as first daughter of a wealthy convent. I am first daughter, Jian Gadao, she said when everyone was made comfortable. She avoided looking at Thiet. Princess, Lady Thiet, we were unprepared for your arrival. We want to extend every courtesy. She stopped, looking flustered. There were problems. The woman in black was young. She spoke with authority, more than we could have foreseen. Buri stirred, thinking the daughter was being rude to Thayet. The hag daughter nodded to her. Forgive my bluntness. I never learned to soften my words. Princess, your father, the warlord, is dead. May the black god ease his passing. Thayet's ivory skin went dead white. How? And when? She rasped. Illness, the hag daughter replied. Sudden and painful. We suspect poison, of course, but no one is anxious to prove it. After hesitating, she added quietly, Forgive me if I'm too abrupt. I was told you and your royal father were not on speaking terms. We weren't. Not after my mother, Thayet whispered. She tried to smile. Still, it was all I had. Go on, please. Try to understand our position. His end places a different meaning on your presence in our houses. Her eyes, unlike those of the first daughters, had been fixed on Thayet. Now she examined Liam. The dragon shifted in his seat. The rebel leader Zir Anduo is frank about his need to talk to you. Killer, you mean? Karam rumbled. The daughter's eyes went to him. Not under our roof, she said coldly. No priestess of ours will betray the princess. Our house is a holy sanctuary. It will not be profaned. She glanced at the first daughter, who looked away. You say assassins have already made an attempt. We are not proof against them or against traitors. Zir Anduo is not the only one to find the warlord's child interesting. She met Thayet's eyes again. I understand, Thayet replied softly. The children are welcome, except for your personal guard. Burirem, Thayet whispered. Jian Kadao avoided Buri's glare and continued. She is Khmer and closely linked to you. We cannot promise her safety. The children who were students at the Mother Mountains, we shall return to their families. We understand the infant is an orphan. He will be reared by us, but we dare not shelter you. I can give clothing, horses, whatever you need. You must go soon, before Zir Anduo knows you are here. Now she looked at the princess. I truly am sorry, Thayet. I have no choice. Already I have disobeyed orders to report your arrival. It won't be long before a spy sends words to the rebels. Dismissed by the priestess, they went back to the room Thayet was assigned. None of them were surprised to find packed saddle bays at the door. They don't waste time, do they? Buri sneered when she saw them. Alana combed mud and stickers out of Faithful's coat, a process the cat loved and made difficult by wriggling in joy. I liked the hag daughter, she confessed, working in on a clump. She was honest. The first daughter left a bad taste in my mouth. Grandma remarked. Oops, wrong voice. Yeah. Don't be hard on Jian Kadao, Thayet said quietly. She's a cousin on my father's side. It wasn't easy for her. Your own family throws you to the wolves? Liam's eyes turned an intense green. He was furious. We prefer ambition to loyalty, Thayet replied. She fingered the arch of her nose. And she's in trouble herself. It'll be easier for all my family if I'm gone. Is my father dead? She looked away from them, swallowing. Any power I had was through him. Now I'm a pawn. Zir Anduo can strengthen his claim to the throne by marrying me. The ones who don't want him will use me to oppose him, because I'm Jian Vilima. Although a Jian Vilima female, she started to pace, her hazel eyes stormy. Where can I go? Please, I need advice. They can come along, Karam whispered to Alana. They're no hindrance. We saw them not coming here. The roof can't be worse than what they face now. Alana looked Thaya over, fingering the ember stone. Thaya was dependable. She was a good archer, a necessity when they hunted to feed themselves. If she was nervous, Alana had yet to see it. She never complained, never cried, never fainted. She never shirked her watch. Thaya and Buri would be an asset to an expedition like theirs. Alana looked at Buri and was surprised by a pleading expression in the girl's eyes. She replaced it with her usual scowl, but this time Alana wasn't fooled. Buri must be worried sick, she thought, and she knows Thaya will be safe with us. Besides, I'd miss them. Thaya, she said aloud, you know where we're going. We're on a quest, I suppose. When I find what I'm after, I'll return home. If Liam and Bray don't object, why don't you ride with us? Mind? Gods, no. Thayat's a better cook than you are, said Liam. The roof of the world, Thayat whispered. Her face brightened. Leave Serene? Bray grinned. Just show me the way. My daughter shook her awake. Glancing at the window, Alana saw it was just before dawn. Time for Liam's teaching. She directed a questioning look at the dragon, but he only shrugged and tossed Alana her clothes. They dressed and followed the priestess out into the corridor. The black-robed daughter awaited them with Buri, Thayat, and Karam. I mean, it's a prejudice brought on by fear, but he can't be a dick about it. Like he's scared of magic, and then in the same turn feels that magic is cheating in a fight. But yeah, as most prejudice is, yeah, true, very true. Yeah, he is decent, but his way of doing things is very because it's like that scenario there is like, oh, if you have time to do some real work, is like, I like him to see him to take on 50 warriors instead of actually holding them down magically. Like he saw how much that wore her out, but he was still angry at her for doing it. It's like, do you expect it was something that needed to be done? Do you want 10-to-1 odds fighting and getting yourself killed and everyone else dying? But yeah, definitely. The Black Robe's daughter awaited them with Buri, Thayet, and Karam. No time to waste, she told them quietly. Zirayong, who is sworn to Ziranduo, knows Thayet's here. And he's on his way. My people can delay him for 3 hours, but you must go if you want to escape. Alana looked at her friends, thinking fast. We can't go as we are. When it gets out that we're gone, everyone will look for a group of nobles, or the dragon and his friends. I can ride as a boy. She grinned, looking at the shirts and breeches she already wore. God knows I've had practice. We'll pass as mercenaries, Liam added. Karam nodded. They all gazed at Thayet, whose looks could not have been more distinctive if she had tried. I can disguise her highness, the hag daughter said. My women will make your pack seem less welcome. What of the horses? They conferred by glance, and Alana shook her head. We don't have time to dye their coats. If it's necessary, I'll put an illusion on them, and my cat till danger's past. She looked apologetically toward Liam, who shrugged. Let's start, the dragon said. The sooner we're gone, the safer everyone will be. Thayet and the daughter disappeared while the others changed into their most disreputable clothes. Novices saddled the horses, rubbing dirt into their coats, manes and tack, then covering the saddlebags in patched canvas. Alana's lance and shields were put on Liam's drifter, since commoner use did not carry them. When Alana herself entered the courtyard, she barely recognized her own moonlight in the dun-colored mare that awaited her. Using rawhide strips, the knight wrapped lightning's gem-studded hilt until only the battered crystal on the pommel showed. Buri, dressed as Alana was in the boy's shirt, breeches, and jacket, arrived next. She glared at Bother, who laid back his ears at the sight of her, and went to make friends with the pony she'd named Surefoot. Thayet was transformed into a sallow-skinned female. Her hair was dull, touched with gray, and a purple birthmark spread over her nose and down her left cheek. She was swathed in a shapeless brown dress. The whole effect was so painfully ugly that no one would look at her for long. We provisioned you, one of the novices said, looking at Thayet with tears in her eyes. The pack horse and your bags. Princess, got a smile on you, wherever you go. Alana gripped the hag daughter's arm. If you come west, she smiled. Farewell, Lioness. They galloped out to the convent gates, riding hard. Distance, rather than conserving themselves and the horses, was the important thing for this part of the journey. For once, Faithful kept silence about the joggling, hooking his claws into his cup and holding on. Their route from the convent led past the city wall, rather than into the city. The road was deserted by Arachia's early morning visitors, so no one would witness their flight. Either the gods smiled, or the hag daughter had weather workers at their command. Fog enveloped them, muffling the noise they made and sheltering them from sight. The ride to the border took 3 days, with Liam setting a pace all of them could handle. Alana relinquished command of their expedition to him. Not only was he familiar with Eastern terrain and the roof of the world, but he wanted to lead. The countryside was deserted. Normal inhabitants, trappers, mountain men, merry tribesmen, a few Doi tribesmen from the roof, were not sociable at the best of times, and now they had fled the occasional patrols of southern armies. Alana paid little attention to the deserted land. She worried about Thayet. She worried about herself. These days, her old goals appeared silly, a child's dream, not an adult's. But what was she going to do with her life after she found the jewel? If she found it. What did a claim matter if he had nowhere to go? Nothing to do. 3 days after setting out from Braccia, they came to the Macon River that formed the Seren border. On its eastern bank was the fortress Way, a Seren outpost. There was no single government east of the river. Beyond Way, the ground formed hills and small valleys. Above those hills loomed a huge purple band that hung too steadily to be clouds. Alana squinted at it, curious. Thea brought her mare up beside Moonlight, observing the direction of Alana's stare. "The roof of the world," she said quietly. Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep to the habit of one chapter a night right now. I'm tired. I'd already had dozed up before stream as well. And I'm stumbling over my words more and more. So we're gonna call it a night today. Tomorrow we'll be returning some more Baldur's Gate with Foppin. If you want to see me terrified of spiders, look forward to it. I'm fairly sure that Foppin's gonna be leading me through the spider areas. Oh, right, it's Spiders Week. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be fine. Ish. It won't be as bad as grounded? Yeah, grounded spiders. It's at least blood. Maybe you can go easy. I don't want to go to easy mode, really, to be honest, because that get through fat. Yeah, but that also ruins any achievements. So then as soon as you go easy mode, you lose all forward achievements of the normal mode stuff. Yeah. Like I said, it won't be as bad as grounded spiders because grounded spiders are huge and in your face. Yeah, but you don't get the easy achievements, not the not the defeating game and the finishing game in normal mode. There's always achievements locked behind the harder modes. And as soon as you take yourself off of a harder mode, it locks you from being able to get them, even though you go back to the harder mode. It is how achievements work in the achievement systems. I just rolled over my toe, my chair. Like I didn't know my foot was there. Ah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go sleep now. Ish. Or try. I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with some Baldur's Gate, many spiders, and me flinching away from screens. So, something to enjoy. I'll see you all then. Here I am doing like the hand gesture to have my VTuber wave. I'm like, I'm a PNG tuber now. I can't just wave at a hand gesture. She give me a panic face. I mean, that's what's I need to set these up better. This one, yeah. So that would oh, but this doesn't have the panic mode on it. Which has the panic mode on it? Yeah, this one. Eh? No. What? This one. Yeah. Yeah. Ah. I do need a yeah. Panic, go. Anyhow. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.